In today's video, we'll be going through all 10 classes currently in the game, and going over which are the worst and which are the best. So if you do enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, this is all my opinion, and if you think something should be changed, then leave it down in the comments. I'll be ranking these classes based off how expensive they are, their perks, and how well they would work in a team. And just so you guys know, I have not used most of these classes, so I'll be going off of how I've seen other people use them. At number 10, we have the new class, the decorator. This should be pretty obvious, but the only reason you would use this class is for getting decorations, which ultimately serves no purpose, which is why it's at the bottom of the list. At number 9, we have the scavenger. This is a very early game class, and at level 1, you get +2 sack space, which could be useful when you're first starting out a game, but anything after that makes this pretty much useless. Then at level 2, you're able to open chests 20% faster, which once again is completely useless in almost any situation. And at level 3, you get a chance to get scrap from chests, which could actually be pretty good late game. But from what I've seen, it seems like it's a very low chance and you can only get 1 scrap. Overall, not worth the 25 diamonds, and you should just save up for something better. At number 8, we have the camper, costing only 10 diamonds. This is a decent class for those of you who are just starting out, but the reason it's this low is because there's a lot of better options. At level 1, you get 10% reduced hunger drain, which isn't bad if you're just starting out, or you're doing the vegetarian badge, but if you're more experienced, this doesn't help out as much. At level 2, you get increased visibility at night. This perk is pretty useless. I don't see when you're ever gonna need this. Plus, it seems like the visibility you get is very low. At level 3, you spawn in with a stew, which, like I said before, could be useful early game, but obviously once you eat the stew, then it's gone. So it's like a one-time thing. Overall, not bad if it's your first time playing, but I would save up for better classes. At number 7, we have the hunter. This class costs 40 diamonds, and like the camper, it's best for people who are just starting out. He starts off with 2 bear traps. I personally don't ever use these, but I know some of you guys might. At level 1, he has increased meat drop rate, which is good, especially if you pair this class with a cook, so you can get a lot of stews early on and not have to worry about food. At level 2, you get higher pelt drop rate, and from what I've seen, the drop rate is increased by a lot. Finally, at level 3, the pelt trader will offer you an extra wolf pelt trade, meaning you'll be able to give him the wolf pelt twice for extra items, and the items you can choose from are the spear, leather body, and old flashlight. Overall, this class is good early on if you want to get everything from the pelt trader and have an easy start, but towards mid to late game, this class isn't very useful, which is why it's at 7. Now we're getting into the good classes. At number 6, we have the ranger. I know this might be a bit controversial, but hear me out. I don't think the class is bad, just that there are better options. It costs 70 diamonds, which I think is too expensive for a class like this. You start with a revolver and 18 ammo, and at level 2 you have a 10% chance to refund a bullet after shooting, which actually isn't that bad, and works on any gun, not just the revolver. Finally, at level 3, you start with 30 ammo instead of 18. The main reason it's lower on the list is the high cost and the fact that revolvers and ammo are easy to find early on. If it gave you a rifle instead, it might be ranked higher, but starting with a revolver isn't much better than starting with an axe. At number 5, we have the lumberjack, another solid class costing 70 diamonds. You start with a good axe, and at level 1 you have a 20% chance to get an extra log when cutting trees. At level 2, there's a 25% chance for 2 saplings to spawn when cutting a tree, and at level 3, there's a 20% chance to get up to 2 extra logs. This class is great for gathering wood throughout the game, and can make getting the first 3 campfire levels pretty easy. I'd always try to have at least 1 lumberjack on my team. In the late game, with large tree farms, the lumberjack can generate tons of wood and saplings, making it even better. Overall, pretty good class. At number 4, we have the medic. This class is a must-have on any team since people are bound to die a lot. This class only costs 40 diamonds, and you start off with 2 bandages, which in my experience are pretty hard to find in the late game. At level 1, you get 5 times faster revives, which isn't all that crazy. But at level 2, you get improved revives, which restores more health and hunger, which is really good. And this perk is the reason why I always try to have the medic on our team revive everyone. And at level 3, one of your bandages will turn into a med kit, meaning you'll have 1 bandage and 1 med kit. Overall, a decent class by itself, but it becomes extremely useful when in a team, so I'd recommend always trying to find a medic for your team. At number 3, we have the cook. This class costs 40 diamonds like the medic, and these 2 classes are pretty similar in terms of the role they play for a team. At level 1, you get seasoning, and using this on food or stews will increase the hunger you get from them. At level 2, the crockpot will cook 20% faster, and at level 3, you have a 25% chance to get a hearty stew, which will heal yourself when eating it. Once again, a very useful class to have. The cook's job should be to make a bunch of stews ready for anyone on the team to eat, and if you have the level 3 perk, you can bring in a bunch of hearty stews to heal yourself whenever doing something dangerous like the stronghold, instead of having to waste bandages. Overall, another really good class. Now we're in the top 2. At number 2, we have the assassin class, and the only reason that this class isn't number 1 is because of the extremely high cost to buy it, at 500 diamonds. Genuinely, I don't know how long it would take to get that many diamonds, which is why I've never even tried to get this class. If we're not looking at the price tag though, this class is really good. You start off with a katana and 120 throwing knives, which are both very strong weapons, and on top of that, you also have 10% higher sprint speed and a 5% chance to find throwing knives in chests. There has to be a downside though, which is having 15% less health than usual. But if you know what you're doing, then that shouldn't affect you. At level 2, the first hit on an enemy has a chance to critically strike, which pretty much means it has a chance to do extra damage. Once again, an insane perk. Finally, at level 3, the 5% chance to find throwing knives in chests goes up to a 10% chance, meaning you'll be finding a bunch of these throwing knives and won't have to worry about wasting them. Overall, a very strong class, though it's more for solo players since it doesn't provide much to the team. It's still really good. At number 1, coming in at 70 diamonds, we have the brawler class. This class is my personal favorite, and it's what I use, so I may be a bit biased, but overall this class is really strong. The downside is that you can't use any sort of gun, but you have 20% more HP and you deal a whopping 30% more damage with melee weapons. You also spawn in with leather armor for extra protection. At level 2, you regen more health at a faster rate, and at level 3, you have a 5% chance to block any incoming damage. I don't think people realize how busted this class is, and it only costs 70 diamonds compared to the 500 we were talking about earlier. If you're good at melee weapons like axes and spears, then this class is for you. You'll be a walking tank, and you'll almost never die whenever this class is fully maxed out. Overall, a very simple but good class to have. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you've enjoyed, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, see ya.